Hello, I'm Michael Frisina. I'm the founder of the Frisina Group and the Center for Influential Leadership. What I'd like to talk to you about for a few minutes right now is this idea of self-awareness. Self-awareness is a powerful leadership tool. It's a powerful personal effectiveness tool. If you don't know yourself, and you don't know how your behavior is coming off to other people, how your behavior is affecting your relationship with other people, it's greatly going to impact the level of influence you bring as a leader to your team and ultimately to your organization. Self-awareness is the foundation of influential leadership.
We created a model, a 3-step model where we talk about influential leadership, teach and coach it within the parameters of 3 fundamental domains. The first of which is self-awareness, the second is collaboration, and the third is connection. And it's in the gathering of the tools and the skill sets in each of these 3 domains that really propels leadership into any organization. We do this fundamentally by training and coaching on behavior skills essential for high performance. Each one of the domains, self-awareness, collaboration, connection, has its own unique set of behaviors geared toward driving that domain to a higher level of engagement in you and engagement with the people that you lead in the organization. The first thing to any element of performance is you knowing yourself, knowing other people, and knowing your industry. And it's in the knowledge of those 3 areas where self-awareness really comes into play. Do you have a personal mission statement? Have you ever taken time to think about what your goals and objectives for you personally really are in life? Do you match those to a certain set of core values? What do you fundamentally believe to be true about yourself, about others, and about the world in which you live? Do you believe in integrity, compassion, or excellence? Now remember, virtually every organization has a set of core values hanging somewhere in the organization that's geared to articulating some element of what that organization fundamentally believes to be true. The problem for most organizations is those sets of values are created away from the organization without the participation of the core group of people that function day to day in the heart of that organization. So if you hire somebody who's misaligned in values from their personal beliefs to the beliefs of the organization, you're going to have a bad fit in hire, and you're going to end up with low engagement, and ultimately you're going to end up with poor performance. There's a type of individual you can get in your organization who's the technical tyrant. This is the individual who comes with a highly developed set of technical skills, but their behavior skills are such that they lower overall performance for the organization. The flip side of that is a person who has a highly developed sense of behavior skill. They just lack the technical competence to perform in the job requirements for which they were hired. Neither one of these individuals is a good worker because neither one of them can attain peak performance individually that drives team performance overall for the organization. Now, it's typically easier to identify a good person by behavior with low technical skill and remove that person from an organization. We tend to be a little bit delusional, dare I say, and carry some form of superstition toward the technical tyrant. We've got to overcome this mental block, mental myth, that this technical tyrant is actually good for the organization. Neither one of these individuals is good for performance. And third, we then teach and coach individuals into accepting personal accountability and responsibility. This is a skill today that, at least in the United States, we've seen to gravitate to sort of this victimization mindset. We blame shift. We find excuses for virtually everything that isn't going right in circumstances of our lives.
One thing's perfectly clear. You may not know aspects of your behavior that are affecting your team negatively, but everybody on your team does, and they're perfectly obvious to them. This is why we promote the use and advocate the use of a feedback tool. Now, feedback tools, commonly referred to as 360 and other sorts of things, have really gotten a negative hit through the industries over the last few years. People are very concerned that peer-to-peer feedback or peer-to-leader feedback is going to be negative. It's going to give people an opportunity to just, shall we say, grind the axe against the boss and that sort of thing. But you have to ask yourself fundamentally something true here, and that is, if you're afraid of hearing what people you work with have to say about you because it's negative, could it be the case it's because it really is? And so one of the things we ask you to do is, can you take a look in the mirror? Can you look at yourself, get feedback about your behavior and how your behavior is affecting other people, and then make appropriate changes to your behavior that's going to improve your effectiveness of relationship with people and ultimately the performance of your team and your organization.
We have core values of the individual in the organization. We have the mission statement of the organization, but the mission statement of individuals. What is it that's the fundamental driver that gets people up and gets them to go to a job and give discretionary effort and enjoy the work and really create a sense of joy in the work that they're doing? That's linked to understanding individual behavior styles, of which there are 4 types.
Do you know, for example, if you tend to be a driver, somebody who's all about getting it done?
Do you tend to be more assertive than other people, or do you tend to be more responsive? Do you tend to be more task focused than other people, or do you tend to be more people focused?
You tend to talk more than you listen. You have a tendency to interrupt. You can fill in sentences for people.
Do you know that you tend to have a high degree of empathy and compassion? Or do you know that you really have to work at times of being able to tap into the emotional connection to other people when they're experiencing some level of pain and difficult circumstances? And so if you don't have a knowledge of individuals' behavior styles and how those styles connect and interact, or worst case, how they can cause conflict, and you don't know how to moderate and mitigate that conflict, it's going to have a drastic and tremendous impact on overall performance. Those 4 behavior skills summarize for us the training and coaching and development piece within self-awareness. If you can maximize those 4 behavior skill sets, you're going to have a high developed sense of self-awareness, the awareness of others, and then ultimately you're going to develop the understanding of your industry. And when you put those 3 things together, you've now got a solid foundation to launch your performance model and to engage in peak performance in the organization.
I'm the one that forgets my tendencies, and I'm the one who needs to be reminded of who I am and how I behave, both when it's effective and a strength and when it's ineffective and a weakness. So take some time to find a good friend and let them tell you about how they're experiencing you and your behavior. And when they give you that feedback, listen, learn, and change. And you'll find yourself becoming more influential as a leader, and overall performance of your work teams, your organization going up significantly. Thank you.